This is the Intex rectangular Ultra XTR frame above ground pool, and just looking at it, you can see right away that this thing is huge. It has a sleek rectangular shape, and with 32 feet of length, 16 feet wide, and over 4 feet deep, it takes up a lot of space. So make sure you have a big enough area in your backyard before you even think about setting it up. I want to share my experience trying to put this pool together recently, because I know a lot of people see that easy assembly promise and those poolside photos online, and just imagine an instant backyard paradise. The reality, at least for me and my family, was a bit sweatier and took a lot longer. So here's a quick review of what it's actually like to get this pool up and running. Key features you should know about. The pool uses a strong steel frame, which feels super solid and has what Intex calls a dual-layer powder coat that's supposed to protect against rust and weather. There's a 3-ply liner, which I learned means 3 layers of material. They say this helps it resist tearing and punctures. The kit comes with a sand filter pump, a ladder, a ground cloth, a pool cover, plus a couple of floats and a floating cooler. So it's pretty much a complete setup to get started. From my experience, setting up the pool is no one-person job. There are instructions, and Intex advertises an easy lock system with no pins or tools. But for a pool this big, the prep is what gets you. I spent ages just making sure the ground was as level as possible, and honestly, I still ended up being 4 or 5 inches off in one corner, which is not ideal at all. I can really see why they stress how important a level base is. After the pool filled up, it was obvious that one end was lower than the other. You can see the water tilt, and even the pool walls look a little bent or stressed in certain spots. If you skip this part or just eyeball it, you'll probably regret it later. We did try using sand to level our yard. I didn't spend a fortune, but it did require a lot of effort. Even after all the shoveling and measuring, I underestimated how unforgiving it would be if the pool's not perfectly flat underneath. I definitely recommend taking your time with ground prep. Maybe rent a level, or ask someone with some experience for advice. Preparation is everything when dealing with such a large above-ground pool. Once the actual build got going, the snap-fit frame went together smoothly. It's a lot of pieces, but they do fit the way they're supposed to. And as long as you follow the instructions, it should work out. Putting on the liner was a bit tricky, especially getting it tight and in place before adding water. That first moment when you're finally starting to fill the pool is surprisingly emotional. There's a sense of relief, but then you realize just how much water fits in this thing. Filling it up took us almost 2 full days using 2 hoses, and just watching the water rise in the liner felt like a marathon. If you're planning to do this, don't think you can swim the same day. I was seriously tempted to jump in when it was just a few inches deep because we were so tired. The sand filter pump system was easier to set up than I thought. It just needed to be attached according to the guide and then filled with the right amount of sand. Sand filter just means it uses sand inside the pump body to catch dirt and debris as water cycles through it. It's low maintenance and a system I'd recommend since you don't have to mess with it as much as traditional filter cartridges. It also comes with hydro-aeration technology, which injects air into the water to improve its clarity and circulation. That said, you still need to run the pump. I try to run mine for at least 8 hours a day, especially since this is such a large volume of water. It's stayed pretty clear so far. The ladder is sturdy enough for adults, which matters because it's a decent height to get in and out. The pool cover and ground cloth are included, and even if they don't look super fancy, they get the job done. I wouldn't leave the pool uncovered overnight if it's windy or there are lots of trees nearby, because that's just asking for a mess and extra cleaning. I had some doubts at first, mostly about whether the walls would hold once filled, or if the frame would bend since our ground level was off. Even with those issues, the pool held up surprisingly well. There's some visible bending in the side rails at the lowest end, and I'm keeping an eye on it every day, but so far, no leaks and no structural problems. It's a testament to the frame strength and liner quality, though I can't stress enough that level ground is crucial, both for looks and for safety. Using this pool has been a highlight for my family. There's really so much space that you can swim laps, float, play games. It's more than enough for several kids and adults. While it's not a permanent in-ground pool, it definitely gives you the feeling of a real pool. The floats and floating cooler are small extras, but honestly, it makes relaxing out there even better. Maintenance is an ongoing thing. Just because the pump is powerful doesn't mean you get off easy. I keep a net handy for leaves, and I use a basic pool vacuum attachment every few days. Keeping the pH and chlorine in balance is important. If you're not familiar, you'll want to buy a simple water test kit. Balancing the chemicals just means the water feels good, looks clear, and isn't irritating to skin or eyes. It's a must with a pool this big. I didn't know much about pool chemistry at first, but there are plenty of guides online, and most of it is about regular, light checking rather than any complicated work. This pool is perfect for families who want a real outdoor swimming experience and are willing to put in the effort for setup and maintenance. In my opinion, it's not something you want to take down and put up every season. From my experience, the most challenging part was the ground prep and filling it. I'd recommend this for anyone looking for a big pool but ready to commit to the initial hard work and who have enough flat outdoor space. In conclusion, the Intex rectangular Ultra X-Tier frame above ground pool is a sturdy, fun, and surprisingly luxurious addition to your backyard, as long as you respect how big a project it is to set up and maintain. The pool itself feels solid, looks sharp, and encourages everyone to spend more time outside. If you want as close to an in-ground pool feeling without digging up your backyard, this checks most boxes, but don't overlook how tough it can be to get it started. Take the time to prep, and you'll be rewarded with summers of sweet swimming. To learn more about the Intex rectangular Ultra X-Tier frame above ground pool, please check the comments section. Thank you for watching.